All right, let's talk about something that can be a huge headache, getting a loan approved. Today, we're going to walk through a blueprint, a kind of roadmap that's all about taking the guesswork and, hopefully, the rejection out of the whole thing.
So does this look familiar? That feeling when you've done all the paperwork, you've waited, and then you get that message. Application denied. Ugh, it is so frustrating, right? And it leaves you just sitting there wondering, what did I do wrong? Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Most of us, our first thought is, well, I guess I don't make enough money. But the whole idea behind this explainer is that for most people, that's just not true. It's not about your income. There's something else happening that you probably haven't even thought about. So what is it then? What's the real reason? Well, it turns out it's almost never what you think it is. Let's pull back the curtain and see what's actually going on.
And there it is. The big problem isn't that you're not eligible for a loan. The problem is the strategy, or, the lack of one. People are getting turned down because they're trying to navigate this super complex system all by themselves, totally blind. It's not that you don't deserve the loan, it's that you don't know the right way to ask for it.
Okay, so let's get into the specifics. There are 4 really common mistakes, these little traps that can completely derail an application, even one that should have been a slam dunk.
First up, applying for the wrong type of loan. Maybe you need money for your side hustle, but you apply for a personal loan. To a bank, that mismatch is a huge red flag. Second, credit issues. And yeah, this could be a low score, for sure, but it could also be a simple typo or an error on your credit report that you have no idea is even there. Third is document mismatches. This is a subtle one. If your income proof says one thing, but your bank statements tell a slightly different story, that makes lenders really nervous. And finally, and this is a big one, just picking the wrong bank. See, every single bank has its own set of rules, its own comfort level with risk. Applying to just any bank is literally like throwing a dart in a dark room and just hoping you hit the bullseye.
Now, you might be thinking, okay, so I got rejected, I'll just try again. But the thing is, the consequences can be way more serious than you think. It's so much more than just a temporary no.
So here's the deal. Every time you apply for a loan, it creates what's called a hard inquiry on your credit report. Just one wrong application can actually knock your score down a few points. And if you start collecting rejections, well, lenders start seeing you as a risky bet, which makes it way, way harder to get approved for anything later on. It's this kind of downward spiral, and it all starts with just one uninformed application.
And that brings us to this really important idea. When you need money, it feels like you need it now. It's so easy to rush. But slowing down and getting the right guidance isn't just a nice idea. It's absolutely critical if you want to protect your financial future.
So what do you do? What's the fix? Well, that's where something called the Guided Application Blueprint comes in. It's a whole strategy designed to help you get it right on the very first try.
And this is where professional guidance becomes a real game changer. Services like the one you see here, they basically act as your expert navigator. They give you the map and the compass you need to get through the lending world without falling into all those common traps. So what does a process like this actually look like? Well, instead of you just guessing and applying, it all starts with a deep dive into your whole financial picture. From there, they check your eligibility across a bunch of different banks to find the perfect fit. You get matched with the exact right loan type for the right institution, and, this is so important, they make sure every single piece of paper is perfect before anything gets submitted. All that work up front, that's the secret sauce. So really, this all boils down to a choice. It's not just about whether you need a loan, it's about how you're going to go about getting it. Let's look at the 2 paths you can take.
On one hand, you've got the blind approach. You're guessing at banks, you're hoping for the best, and you're putting your credit score at risk every single time. Honestly, it's a recipe for stress and a whole lot of uncertainty. But on the other hand, you have the guided application. Here, you're strategically matched with the right lender. Your approval chances shoot way up, and you have an expert looking over every detail. The result? You save a ton of time, you skip the stress, and you actually protect your financial health in the process.
When you boil it all down, the takeaway is actually pretty simple. A smart, strategic application isn't just a good idea, it is the single most important thing you can do to get that approved stamp.
So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question to chew on. When it comes to your financial future, is your next application going to be a total guess, a shot in the dark, or is it going to be a strategic investment in your own success? Something to think about.